The JoLynn Braley Show, episode number 292. How she stopped binge eating instantly. Hello. Welcome back to the JoLynn Braley Show. This is JoLynn Braley, permanent weight loss coach, founder of the Inner Self Diet. The Inner Self Diet that kicks ass if what you want is to solve and heal the root of what drives your out of control eating, binge eating, emotional eating, unhealthy late night snacking, low self-esteem, low self-confidence, whatever it is that's standing in your way. If you want to heal the root of this stuff so that you can finally lose weight and keep it off, which the only way that's going to work is by living a healthy lifestyle. Okay? So if you want to get to the place where you can live a healthy lifestyle without it being any big deal, then the Inner Self Diet gives you those results. But the Inner Self Diet only gives you those results if you do the steps. There's no magic. And what I am about to share with you today from one of my current clients I'm coaching in the Inner Self Diet, her name is Sally. I'm going to share with you how she stopped binge eating instantly. And I have to tell you right now that Sally's results are not typical. Okay? I have been coaching awesome women and a few cool men through my proven step-by-step system to struggle-free weight loss all the way since 2009 is when I started professionally coaching. And these steps, they have worked for every single client who has just simply followed my instructions, done the steps per the instructions. They work, but they don't work for anybody who doesn't do the steps. All right? There's no way to get around that in life. You're not going to get results from anything by not doing something different and by not doing the work. And that's what Sally is doing. But even with what Sally's doing, her results are not typical. I have never had anyone previous to Sally join the Inner Self Diet and then right away stop binge eating. But I'm going to share with you her secrets to her success because they are very specific things that she is doing that have allowed her to have this awesome success. If this is your first time tuning in to the JoLynn Braley Show, then hey, do you already have my free ebook? If you've never heard of it, if you don't have it, you can get it now. You can get it at www.easyfunweightloss.com. That's www.easyfunweightloss.com. It's got 3 simple steps in it to help you start making weight loss easier from the inside out. It's especially for you if you're struggling with binge eating, emotional eating, or yo-yo dieting. And you can get that now at www.easyfunweightloss.com. Okay, this is the August 2nd, 2018 podcast here on the JoLynn Braley Show, episode number 292. And with Sally's latest update, she is now 77 days binge free. It's quite amazing. Now, if you are one of my current clients in the Inner Self Diet listening to this, this is not an opportunity for you to compare yourself to Sally, but what you can do is learn from what she is doing, okay, and the specific reasons that she has gotten these results. If you're not a client in the Inner Self Diet, well, then I would hope that you can gain some inspiration from Sally's story to what is really possible. Okay, because Sally is no different than anyone else. It's just that she is doing some things differently than most other people. All right? And she's not a perfect person. She still has other things that she is working on in the inner self diet, which is totally awesome. That's what the inner self diet is for. It's to unravel and resolve and heal and release whatever is standing in your way of getting to your ideal weight and staying there for the rest of your life. Okay? So, what is she doing? What is the secret to her success? How did she stop binge eating instantly? Okay, number one secret to Sally's success is she made a frickin' decision. Yeah, so powerful. She made a decision. By the way, a lot of people think that they can get away from making a decision, and it's not possible. Because the moment that you decide to not make a decision, you have decided not to make a decision. So there are millions of people out there who are telling themselves they want to lose weight, they want to stop binge eating, they want to stop emotionally eating, but they've never made a decision to do it, and they've never gotten a plan together. They're not getting coaching. They're not working a specific system that works. They just keep talking, right? They haven't made a decision, and they have not made a decision to succeed either. So what Sally did is she actually found me through my podcast, and I love the folks who come from my podcast. They end up wanting me to coach them. They especially love my Get Real podcast episodes. The people who find me through my podcast and become coaching clients and do the steps of the inner self diet, they're awesome because a lot of them, they listen to multiple editions of my podcast. Anyway, Sally found me through my podcast. She signed up for a complimentary weight loss discovery session, which is the first step towards ending your food and weight struggles. And she enrolled in my proven step-by-step system. And right then at that moment, because I've asked her, I said, how the heck did you do this? I've never had anybody that just enrolls and they stop binge eating. All right. So where did this start? And she said, well, first of all, I made a decision. I made a decision that when I said I was going to do this and I enrolled in your course, and I just decided that I was going to succeed with this no matter what. Okay, see, now with you who's listening to me right now, this is so important. I highly recommend that you write this down pen on paper. The power of making a decision. Not only did she decide to enroll in the inner self diet and do the proven steps, but she made a bigger decision for herself. Sally made the decision that she was going to succeed. Okay? Now, some people could say, well, you can't just make a decision to succeed and then just go willy-nilly doing whatever when you don't even know if you're going to succeed. And I agree. You do have to have a proven plan, a proven system, a proven recipe, a formula that other people have done before you, and you have to plug yourself into that. But then you have to decide that you're doing it, and you have to decide, like Sally did, gosh darn it, I'm doing this all out. I'm getting all in and going all out, and I'm succeeding with this no matter what. So that was the first step in her path to her success, right there, that decision. You know what? If you look up the definition of decision, the foundation of that word is decise. And what that means is to cut away. So when you decide, you cut away any other options. So that decision that Sally made, she decided right then that she was cutting out any other options. So she cut out any other options of failure. She decided she was succeeding. Okay, so that's the first thing that she did. Obviously, she made the decision to enroll in the inner self diet too. That was really smart. But beyond that, with these decisions that she made, she decided that she was going to do whatever I gave her to do. So she was going to do the same steps that I'd given clients who came before her, and she'd watched videos of other people that I've coached, and she decided that she was just going to do whatever it was. And she didn't know what everything was. She didn't have all of the details. What matters is there's a plan in place that I put together, and all these other people that you can watch their videos or you can listen to their audio interviews with me or read their written testimonials. All of these things are over on my website, fearlessfatloss.com, and you could find all of that over there. Sally suspended her doubts and her disbelief and her skepticism, and she just decided, okay, I'm doing this. I'm doing this, man. I'm doing it. I'm getting all in. I'm going all out, and I'm doing this. And that is exactly what she did. From the moment that she enrolled, she did all of the steps that I gave her to do. And then I follow up with her, and she's telling me I'm not binge eating anymore. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I mean, we haven't even started the core steps yet, right? Because I gave her the preliminary steps that everybody gets when you start immediately. And we hadn't even gotten to all of everything else yet. And she says she's already quit binge eating and she doesn't want to binge. And I looked at her track record of her accountability that she'd been sending me when I'd ask her the follow-up questions, and she'd been doing everything that I gave her to do. Okay, so that is another huge, huge, huge key to her success. She didn't just decide that she was going to succeed and then hope and pray and wish that because she made this decision that now things were magically going to change. No, she didn't do that. She did the work. Okay? This is critical. You could write this down also, pen on paper. After her decision came her follow through. So every day she was doing the homework, she was doing the steps. And this is something right here that so many people get, they fail. They get lost and they fail because they they have a magical, mythical thought that commitment means words or a decision to succeed, that's enough. Nope, it's not. You have to follow through and you've got to do the work. Okay? Look at the very bottom line basics of losing weight. There is work that has to be done. Okay? You have to go to the grocery store and you've got to buy the healthy, whole, real food, not fake food, but real food. And you got to take that home and you've got to cook it and portion it out, have meals planned in advance. You've got to stack the deck in your favor. You've got to schedule in daily in your schedule when you're going to do your exercise, when you're going to do your cardio, your strength training, right? You've got to do these things in advance and you have to follow through with action. That's the work, right? There's no magic. You're not going to ever get to your goal weight and stay there by just wishing, hoping, and praying. You can't just make a decision. You can't say, oh, well, Sally made a decision to stop binge eating, so I'm just going to decide right now I'm going to stop binge eating. That's not enough. She made the decision and then she did the work. She did the homework I gave her, which released her from her binge eating. Okay, is this making sense? Are you getting this? So you have to follow through. Another secret, a huge, huge secret to Sally's success and how she stopped binge eating instantly is she suspended any doubts. Doubt will totally mess you up. Totally, totally, totally. All right, it's a muddy water to wade in. In fact, it's really, it'll suck you in, kind of like quicksand. Doubt will, self-doubt. And so Sally, with that decision that she made, and then moving forward to take daily action to do the steps that I gave her, she had and has, she still has, a fantastic attitude about the whole process, and she is not doubting herself. Okay? This does not mean that she doesn't have questions. This does not mean that she doesn't ask me for help. This does not mean that she is a perfect person. What it means is that she is following through each day, doing her daily action steps to release any other unhealthy behaviors and and achieve that freedom that she came to the Inner Self Diet for. And she's doing these steps without doubting herself, without holding herself back. And the other secret to her success, I already mentioned it, she has a great attitude. Okay, she has a great attitude about the whole process, and she's trusting the process. So she has all of the winning elements, and it's very, very, very interesting. It's very interesting because, like I said, her results are not typical. Okay, I have not ever had a client who came into the Inner Self Diet and then they stopped binge eating just from doing the steps I gave her the moment that she enrolled, which is the same for everybody that I work with. The whole process starts immediately. I gave her the homework to do immediately, and she jumped right in. She did it, and then a week later she's saying, yeah, I haven't even been binge eating. I'm like, what? And now she's up to 77 days. So, you know what is really funny? Have you ever heard the story of the 4-minute mile and Roger Bannister? Okay, Roger Bannister was a runner, and this was back in 1954 when he broke the barrier of the 4-minute mile. What's really interesting about this is that before he did that, before he ran a mile in 4 minutes, no one else had ever done it before. But as soon as he did that, then there were all these other runners who started doing the same thing. Why suddenly, after Roger Bannister broke that barrier, did these other runners also run a 4-minute mile? Because they now believed they could do it. And wouldn't it be interesting if Sally is a Roger Bannister? I wonder if I'm going to have other new clients that I'm going to be working with who are now going to be stopping binge eating or stopping emotionally eating as soon as they enroll with me. But the only way that will happen is they have to also do what Sally did, right? Make that decision to succeed, follow through, do the work, right? Do the homework, do the steps, and do it without doubting themselves, and have a great attitude about the whole process and trust in the process. It's also interesting, and it's quite amazing. And Sally's not done yet. She's still in the process. We're not even halfway through the Inner Self Diet because she did the preliminary steps, and we're still doing the core steps. I've been saying, I got to do a podcast about you. I've got to do a podcast about you. And she says, yeah, go ahead. And she hopes that her story can help to inspire all of you who listen to the JoLynn Braley Show of what is really possible. Hey, if she's done it, others can do it too. But you have to do the same things that she has done. Okay? And you know what? A very common problem that comes up with examples like what Sally is giving us is the folks who doubt themselves so much, and then what they do is they compare themselves to somebody like Sally, and they say, oh, well, she must be different than me, and she must have other advantages, or she must da 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 da. And so a person who does that, they won't have the same success as Sally because they won't make the decision to succeed. They won't do the work that Sally's doing, and they won't suspend their doubts because all of those statements are their own doubts, those example statements I just gave you. And they're not going to have a great attitude about the whole process like Sally has. So if you do the same things that Sally is doing right now, then you could have the same success. You really could. I'm not going to start saying, though, that the Inner Self Diet will help you stop binge eating immediately because I've never had anybody else do that, and I've been doing this since 2009. So I've said this a couple times. Sally's results are not typical, but they sure are inspiring, aren't they? Wouldn't you say? Don't you agree? I mean, isn't that pretty awesome? Seriously. It is time for a commercial break here on the JoLynn Braley Show. This week's sponsor of the JoLynn Braley Show is found at www.easyfunweightloss.com. Head on over to www.easyfunweightloss.com. Grab my free download. It's a free ebook. It will help you start making weight loss easier from the inside out. I've got 3 simple steps in there that your mama never taught you, and it's especially for anyone struggling with binge eating, emotional eating, or yo-yo dieting. And you can get that now at www.easyfunweightloss.com. Okay, a couple questions to ask yourself on each episode of the JoLynn Braley Show. I give you some questions to ask yourself. You will only get a benefit out of this, however, if you grab pen and paper and you write each question down, pen on paper, and then you write the answer down to each question and you write your answer pen on paper. If you only listen to my voice, this is just going to be more information, and it'll go in one ear, out the other ear. And one of the pitfalls, one of the dangers of information is that information collected without action, without consistent action, only leads to more frustration. So I suggest that you avoid creating more frustration for yourself and instead grab pen and paper, follow through, get something out of this totally free weight loss podcast by getting that pen and paper now. And of course, you can pause the podcast to do that. All right, first question. When exactly did you make the full, total 100% decision to fully succeed in solving your food and weight problems? When exactly did you make the decision for yourself, the full, badass 100% decision to fully succeed in solving, healing, and releasing and ending your food and weight struggles? When did you decide that? Number 2, how do you know that you made that decision? Where is your proof that you made that decision? Because if you made that decision, then your actions would line up with it. And you're getting coaching already, you have accountability, you are taking daily action to release your ongoing food and weight struggles, you've got a solid system in place. Those would be proof points that you've made that decision. Number 3 question, if you've never made that decision to fully succeed, why not? Why not? So write down all of your excuses, all of your fears, all of the lies that you tell yourself. Oh, well, other people can do it, but not me. Whatever it is, all of your negativity that's standing in your way, just write all of that stuff down. Why? Because if you don't write it down, it stays in your head and you just keep circulating it, you keep spinning it, and you will keep it alive. So the first step is to get it written down pen on paper. Number 4 question, when exactly is it going to be the right time for you to make that decision for yourself? When exactly will be the right time for you to make that decision for yourself? Because if you don't make that decision that you're fully succeeding in fixing this problem that you have, whether your problem is food addiction, food obsession, whether your problem is excuses, whether your problem is binge eating, emotional eating, late night stuffing, whatever your problems are, until you make the decision to succeed with getting the body of your dreams and living the life of your dreams, until you make the decision to heal what is standing in your way and solve these problems, then you will just stay where you are and just keep repeating the same things over and over again. Does that make sense? Are you getting this? Something has to change in order for you to get different results. And what has to change is you. Nobody else, just you. Number 5 question, this is the last question. Who is your coach? Okay, we all know that coaching is the quickest way to get your success that you want. The quickest path to your success is working with the right coach who already has a proven system put together and take the action to do the steps to make those changes. But what gets you on that path is the coach who can see the blind spots that are standing in your way and help you get out of your own way. Does this make sense? Is it making sense at all? So, so many people, like I think I said this earlier on this podcast, they sit around and they just talk about wanting different results, but they're not actually doing anything, and they're not getting new results because all they're doing is talking. And you don't want to be like that, do you? I mean, if you do, that's okay. But then don't complain about not getting new results, because the only way you can get new results is to do something new. Does that make sense? And hey, this isn't even a Get Real episode of the JoLynn Braley Show, but you kind of gotta get real with yourself. What the heck are you doing? Are you just saying that you want to change, but you're not making any changes? Because if that's where you are, how are you gonna get the changes, right? You got it? Does it make sense? Yeah. Okay, remember, if you do not already have my free ebook, you can download that now. You can get that at www.easyfunweightloss.com. In it, you will learn 3 simple steps to start making weight loss easier from the inside out. Get that now at www.easyfunweightloss.com. On the other hand, if you don't just want some more free tips, you don't just want information, but you actually want to make a real change, okay? If you want to be like Sally or be halfway like Sally, right? And when I say be halfway like Sally, that's what I was talking about, is that her results are not typical. I've never had anybody just join the Inner Self Diet and stop binge eating instantly. But I've had many who have joined and they did stop binge eating, absolutely, but just not overnight like Sally. Anyway, if you really seriously are serious about ending your food and weight struggles, okay? If you're serious about learning a different way, learning a new way, taking action with steps that actually work, okay? If you're serious about doing the work, because there's no magic, okay? There is no magic. There is no magic pill. There is no magic tap of a wand on the head that is going to suddenly make everything different for you and make you lose weight. You've got to make changes. If you're serious about making real changes and you want to make them as quickly as possible, and you realize and you agree and it makes sense to you that your mindset is critical. The mindset is 92.8% of the challenge. Get that right? And then the 7.2%, which is the healthy eating, healthy exercise, that will be the easiest thing to do. But you got to get your head right. 92.8% of it is mindset, and that's the work that I do with my awesome coaching clients in the Inner Self Diet. So, hey, again, if you're serious about making real change, head on over to www.discovery-session.com, www.discovery-session.com. That's the first place to take your first step towards ending your food and weight struggles for good. And what you need to do there is enter your first name and email, and then on the next page, there's an application to fill out. And you fill that out completely with full details. It's an application to get on the phone with me on a complimentary one-on-one weight loss discovery session so that we can find out if or how I can help you personally end your food and weight struggles once and for all, and if it's a mutual good fit for us to work together so that you can end the struggle, so that you can get to the place where you can live a healthy lifestyle and it's not a big deal and you don't sabotage yourself anymore. So if you would love to stop asking yourself, why am I so smart and successful professionally, but I've never been able to solve this food and weight thing, even though I know exactly what I need to be doing, but I'm not doing it, okay? If you'd love to stop wondering why your intelligent brain has never been able to solve this problem for you, but you actually do want to solve it, then apply now. Once again, you can start that process at www.discovery-session.com. JoLynnBraley.com. Next week's episode of the JoLynn Braley Show, the topic is going to be 3 signs your weight loss expectations are all wrong. They're totally off track, so we'll go over that next week. This is JoLynn Braley, permanent weight loss coach, founder of the Empowering Inner Self Diet. I wish you your best life, living inside of your ideal body.